Okay, so what you will need is some sort of thing to tie the garland to. I'm just going to use jute, and it's pretty sturdy, so I think this would be a good idea to use. And then you can use any type of scraps of fabric. I just have a jelly roll, and I have some other scraps of fabric I'm going to be using. And then scissors are optional. If you have a jelly roll, you probably won't need scissors. And then I've seen it before where it actually looks better if you tear it instead of using scissors. So I do have these in case I decide to use them. Okay, so I've unwrapped the jelly roll, and so they have, these are the strips of fabric. So they're pretty long. So what I'm going to do, it just depends on how long you want each piece to be. I kind of want it to be short, so I even think, let's see if I cut it in half. I might try cutting it in half and see. Yeah, I'll probably cut it in half. So since this is folded in half, it would be, I would have 4 separate pieces. So I'm going to try that and tie a few on and see how I like it. But yeah, the jelly roll is nice because you have all these strips already. But I'm going to be using some remnant fabric as well to mix in. So this is great if you're trying to use up just random, like if you have an old pillowcase or sheets even. You can go to a thrift store and get scraps or something to, you know, just to cut up. And this is perfect, and it's very cheap. So yeah, I'm going to tie a few on and cut them in half. Okay, so I tied off a loop like this, and then what I ended, if you guys can see, there we go. What I ended up doing is I cut them in half, that worked, and then I think it's too wide for how I want it to look, so I just am snipping like that and then tearing. I do like the ripped look, so I am doing that. I'm going to keep them about that wide. It's about maybe 1.5 inches or so. And then all you do is just go ahead and start tying the fabric onto the line. And again, you know, have fun with this. Do whatever length. You can do them really long. If you want them really neat looking, then don't rip them. I kind of want that vintagey, rustic, I like the rustic look, I guess. So I'm ripping it, and I think it's going to be pretty cute. So that is where we're at. Okay, so I'm kind of separating them by the sections of the different fabric I have, and I'm actually, for this one, I've been ripping it 3 different ways, or I guess in 3 sections, and I'm liking that too. So I just am slitting it like that, ripping it, and these are a little bit thinner, and I'm really liking it. So I might end up doing more thin ones, you know, then if I can do them fairly thin, I will have more pieces for the garland, and I'm liking that. So I think I'm going to do kind of a variety. I think I'm going to switch to more thin, but I want to have some wider pieces as well. Okay, so here is the progress. I have been, let me see if I can kind of hang it for you guys. Just tying, well, that's kind of hard actually with one hand. Just tying them on. I did pick up some polka dot fabric because it like ties everything together with the whole like mushroom toadstools. So I thought that would be nice to put on the decorations so everything kind of goes together. So yeah, I'm really liking the look of the torn fabric. I have them fairly close together right now, and you can, you know, separate them out. So once you tie them on, you can still, like, you know, slide them apart and put another one in there if you want. Like I added the polka dots on, like I had everything else on. So it's probably going to be like garland, and then a burlap #1, and then some more garland, and then I may or may not add strips of burlap in here as well. So that's what it looks like so far. Okay, so just a little tip. Because I was kind of getting impatient and wanting to just start making the garland. I thought I had all of the different types of patterns and stuff that came in the jelly roll, and then I because it started to look like some of the ones I already had opened, then I found all this orange. So yeah, maybe I mean, if you're using something like a jelly roll and not just your scraps, maybe shred or, you know, like tear all of the different pieces first before you start making this. Although I mean, it doesn't make much of a difference, because honestly I can just scoot these over and still tie them on. Like, I've been actually tying on just like random strips of burlap on here as well, so I can still slide it over and fit like this orange color in here. But it might be easier just if you have like all of the different colors that you're going to use, just lay them all out. So yep, that's what's going on. I'm just shredding some more material right now, and then eventually I'm going to glue this on the number one and then put some more garland on the other side of the one. That's what it looks like. Okay, so I finished some of the garland, and what I did with this one, I had some burlap and I Mod Podged it, and then I made like a little toadstool with fabric and felt, and I'm hanging that above these two windows. So yeah, you can see it's kind of a fun, just, you know, idea. You can hang something in the middle. So that's what I did there. And then this one is in our bay window. I have I made a number one with burlap, and then that's the garland that I tied on both sides.